Yes, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little late night stream for you lads and lasses. We are here to discuss the day's news, the evening's news, and obviously the fallout of Erik Ten Hag being sacked by Manchester United earlier on today and the potential next replacement. We're going to get into it all in this evening stream. Do us a favour at the start of this one, though, and smash that like button on it. Give us a big thumbs up at the start of the show. Share us around if you could. The link is pinned to the top of the live chat to repost on x.com. We'll shout everyone out later on who does give us a cheeky little repost. You know, it makes sense. Also, get yourself subscribed if you're new and get in the chat and comment along, my friends, and we shall dip in and out. But welcome into everybody in the live chat. How are you all doing? Shout out to Kyle Smith, Fire Up, Top Player, Matt the Cat, Dublin Games, Pro Gamer, Nick Pendragon, Gung Shilioni. Yes, indeed, be nice in the chat, Melts. Don't make us get the old banhammer out and sack you off like Erik Ten Hag. Okay? Manoda, what's going on? Dale, Mike Jones, PJ, GB, what's happening? Ray Carter, Russell, Dale, Nas, Kyle. Yes, get in there, Don Gungshi. Hello to you all. Pete Morris, F the Man, Rajon, MEFC, Dale, Kulinbaum, Woody, T-Mail, Mix, and everybody else who's in here as well. Thanks for joining, guys. Plenty to get into today. Busy day for United, obviously. Very much changing of the guard today at United with Ten Hag going, Ruud van Nistelrooy coming in as the interim. And the situation is we need to start thinking about who we are going to appoint as our permanent manager next. I mean, just in regards to Ten Hag and everything, you know, he did some good stuff at the club. We did win an FA Cup. We did win a League Cup. Shall we get some love hearts in the live chat there for Erik Ten Hag? Guys, see you later on, Eric. You know what I mean? Thanks for the effort. Although, you know, do you know what? Actually, no. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it, because this guy was afforded so much time, so much money. And the guy was wearing a gilet on a regular basis towards the end of his job. You know, he's trying to get the sack. He wanted that golden handshake. So forget the love hearts, actually, guys. Okay? It ended poorly, didn't it? It was bad. I mean, if we have a look at his stats in the Premier League, though, look at this picture. He's wearing a fucking gilet in it, guys. You know? Premier League stats. Erik Ten Hag's Premier League stats at Man United. So obviously after leaving, we've got the final stats here. 85 matches, 44 wins, 14 losses, win percentage 52%, points per match 1.72. I mean, it doesn't really sound that bad when you look at it here. In all fairness, it's not great. I mean, I think I saw Alex Ferguson's record over, you know, like 26 years. And that was like 65%. Okay, different times. I mean, his record's actually not terrible when you look at it like this, but it's also not great. So, you know, the time was obviously right to make the decision to let him go. I, for one, am very happy that we won't be seeing this guy rocking this gilet anytime soon, hopefully. I mean, maybe if we draw Ajax next year in the Europa or something, then maybe that could happen. But, yeah, there you go. Not great stats from Erik Ten Hag, but also not terrible, really. Fair play to him. I guess he tried, but he was given lots of time and lots of money, and he's failed. So, see you later on, son. Now it's time for United to go and get the next guy in charge. Ruud van Nistelrooy has stepped in for the short term. I suppose Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to get a real chance because, well, he has some previous managerial experience and he's got that link with United. You would think he's going to get a chance. I would have thought, before all this news came out about Amorim, which we're going to get into shortly, I would have thought that Ruud van Nistelrooy would have been given, I don't know, at least a couple of months or, you know, time to maybe prove himself, to take over and be an interim and get that manager bounce and then, you know, maybe kind of do what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did, maybe prove himself. And if he was doing well, they perhaps would have made him permanent. If not, then maybe appoint a new manager at the end of the season or January or whatever, whenever the right guy becomes available. But actually, based on what's going on at the moment, it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be doing more of that sort of Michael Carrick type situation role for us, where after Ollie, we had, Michael Carrick step in for a few games and just take the reins, literally just for a few games until we appointed somebody else. So I think it is looking likely that that's going to be what it is, rather than Ruud van Nistelrooy getting the chance. But I'll just ask the live chat now very quickly. It does seem like Amorim at the moment has established himself as like the favourite to take over. So who would you rather see given the reins at United between Ruud van Nistelrooy and Amorim? Let's get a little vote in the live chat. Have your say, Amorim or Ruud van Nistelrooy? Okay, so I think obviously Amorim's much more proven, isn't he? Definitely. Like if you're talking about his statistics over the last few couple of seasons over in Portugal, very impressive stats, very impressive in terms of both winning the league and, scoring lots of goals and conceding few goals and getting a lot of points and playing attacking, pressing football and all the rest of it. So I think you've got to go with Amorim just based on the whole experience side of things. Ruud's only just done a short-term job over at PSV, did well by all accounts, but it's not the same kettle of fish. Amorim's actually been managing a big club, in a reasonable league. It is a decent league, the Portuguese league, and winning things and doing it very well in style as well. So for that reason, I think if we were going to appoint somebody and just get, it does make sense to go for somebody like that who could potentially be that next big name manager, that next Kloppy or whatever. We tried to do it with Ten Hag and we were hoping that was going to be the case with him, and he just absolutely sank. So there's no guarantees here by appointing somebody like Amorim. It's not a Carlo Ancelotti or an Unai Emery or somebody with bags of experience, but it is somebody who's got some good experience and is obviously ready to step up, hopefully, to a bigger club and potentially be a top manager. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. So a lot of you are saying Amorim. Yeah, Amorim, Ruben's Reds, let's go. Amorim, yeah, Amorim. Na 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 na. Ruben Amorim, Ruben Amorim. We've got to think about that maybe as a chant. Mike Jones says Amorim, Rooney, Rude, Giggs. We asked between Amorim and also Rude, yeah, Amorim, Ruben. Okay, fair enough. Most of you saying Amorim, and I think that's fair. As much as I think Ruud van Nistelrooy has some good potential and has that United link and he's a legend of the club, his manager experience is not to the same level as somebody like an Amorim. So Amorim does make a bit of sense. Then again, if we're looking at Amorim's experience, it's not like he's super experienced. It's not like he's won European trophies or anything. He's won 2 Portuguese leagues. He's won the Portuguese League Cup a few times. He's won the Portuguese Super Cup. That's all I'm seeing on his CV in terms of titles, which is good. But I guess he's only 39, isn't he? So it's not like he's going to have a lot of time to have won a lot of stuff. I guess you could compare him to like Jose Mourinho in terms of that trajectory as a Portuguese manager, though. He's done well. He's proven things. He's won the league in style out there and could be the next guy to do some things in England. By the way, thank you, Alex Sandusky, for the super chat here, you legend. He says, if you get Ruben, can you guys play 3 at the back? Well, so Ruben Amorim's style, I don't watch a lot of Portuguese football, but from the research that I've done and also just, looking at some footage and that kind of stuff, it seems like what he likes to play is indeed a 3-4-3 with some serious pressing up the pitch, which, look, I just want to see us playing well, and I don't really care what formation we play. We stuck with 4-2-3-1 under Erik Ten Hag to the absolute bitter end, and it was filth. We need a change in mentality, I think. We need a change in how we're doing things. If we can start to concede fewer goals at the back and keep things much tighter. I don't know, I'm just thinking like a centre-back trio of potentially in the future, obviously Lenny Yoro, you've got De Ligt and Martinez. I mean, on paper, that does sound very solid. The system's going to have to work. You're going to have to get the overlaps working, and you're going to have to get the inside forwards working. It's going to have to work. But I believe that it could work. It could work with the current set of players that we've got. He's also got Bruno Fernandes in the side if he takes over, which is like basically his brother or maybe his illegitimate son. I don't know, guys. Can anybody see a resemblance there between Ruben Amorim and also Bruno Fernandes? Listen, I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying Mrs. Fernandes was known to get an extra pint or 2 of milk a week than was what was necessary. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that. But they do look quite familiar, don't they? Quite similar, I mean. So, yes, Bruno Fernandes could be coached by by Ruben Amorim, his compatriot. I'm pretty sure he would like to utilise Bruno Fernandes. So, obviously, he's left Sporting and come to Manchester United, but Bruno is a top player, big player for Portugal. I'm sure he'd like to utilise Bruno Fernandes in that system. So, yes, it is going to be a systematic change. Good. I'm all for it. And as I say, it's a case of his teams setting up to press from the front and being tight defensively and scoring a lot of goals. It sounds good to me. It sounds good to me. Anything's better than the Ten Hag ball guff that we've seen lately. I mean, if we just have a little look at Amorim's stats this season, okay, it's the Portuguese league. I guess it doesn't tell you all that much. You've still got to come over here and do it in the toughest league in the world. But Ruben Amorim, stats at Sporting Lisbon in the league this season, 9 wins, 0 losses, 30 goals scored and 2 goals conceded. I mean, those are some pretty impressive stats. It doesn't really matter what league you're in. Those are still impressive stats when it comes to professional football. So that's obviously a good sign of things. Last season, had a very good extended period of success in the league and a dominant victory. And he's obviously very, very talented as far as young managers go. 39 years of age. So he is being supposedly seeked out by Manchester United here. David Ornstein earlier on reporting that Manchester United are working on a deal to appoint Ruben Amorim as the head coach. Man United ready to pay €10 million release clause and are in talks with Sporting to finalise the deal. The 39-year-old Portuguese is open to accepting the move. So this is reported far and wide. David Ornstein there reporting it. Also, Fabrizio Romano just basically confirming that earlier on as well and says that Manchester United have approached Sporting for Ruben Amorim as he's the favourite candidate to replace Erik Ten Hag. Talks ongoing as the Athletic reports. Contract terms have also been discussed with Ruben Amorim's camp in the recent hours. So, it does seem like there's definitely full steam ahead on this one. Maybe they'll still have a look at other managers. There's still talks about people like Thomas Frank or Xavi or whoever. Maybe they will explore some other options, but it does seem like we've put the feelers out there and are definitely targeting and in negotiations, in discussions with Sporting to try and get a deal at least in place for Ruben Amorim. So I think this would be a good appointment. Maybe if you go back a year or two, we'd have said, what sort of experience has he really got? But now he's got good experience in Portugal. It's a step up to the Premier League, but can he really be any worse than that Dutch Kojak Mel? That's the reality. Probably not. So it's somebody else. It's somebody with a different way of doing things who could potentially utilise certain players in the team as well. You've got some Portugueses in there, the likes of Dalla, the likes of Bruno, etc. And then, it all helps, doesn't it? In terms of the amount of money that we're going to have to pay Sporting, though, that could be a sticking point because United have just had to give Ten Hag, I believe, a £12 million golden handshake to piss off. And we've spent a lot of money over the last couple of seasons on the whole Ten Hag project. So, in terms of financial fair play and also just like making financial sense, we have spent a lot of money and will continue to do so, trying to get somebody else in here. So release clauses and things like that, or release fees in order to get a new manager in, are something that is going to make an impact on a decision. But this is what Florian Plettenberg says from over in Germany. He says that he understands that Ruben Amorim is very open to joining Man United with immediate effect. Talks between the clubs are ongoing and it largely depends on Sporting at this point. Originally, Amorim intended to move next summer when his release clauses in the mid-8-figure range would apply. Amorim is now the leading candidate for Man United. The first concrete talks took place a few weeks ago, as revealed. So, something that's maybe being talked about and worked on behind the scenes for a little while here. Just in case the inevitable happened, really, which was that Erik Ten Hag shat it. By the way, shout out to this legend, the SP Freely. Thanks for getting in here raw with a super chat, lad. He comments, unless Van Nistelrooy has been going up against Ten Hag like a brick wall, then it's still going to be a while before anything changes. Yeah, well, why does my camera keep going out of focus here, mate? That's pissing me off, that is. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. It's like Ten Hag's season. Just going out of focus. It's all over the place. I apologise. I'll try not to move. The SP Freely, fair enough, lad. Well, who knows what's been going on? The reality is Ruud wasn't in there very long to be able to change that much, and he had a limited role in what he was doing. He was obviously one of Ten Hag's assistants. So there's only so much he can do. He will, I think, change things fundamentally, because even if you're just an interim for a couple of games, let's say that they're just working on getting the new manager permanent in, i.e. Amorim, this next week, and it takes a week or 10 days or whatever to get the deal actually done and in here. Ruud's just going to have a couple of games in charge. If you're Ruud van Nistelrooy, you just basically want to just go gung-ho. I would, anyway. I would just say, go and have fun there, lads, and attack and create and score, and let's play the absolute opposite way that we played under Erik Ten Hag. Let's just do everything differently, you know? So, that's what I would do. Thank you very much to SP Freely for your super chat there. I appreciate you just catching up with the chat here. We got another one from Russell Bland. Russell Bland says, Jermaine Jenas is Jermaine man. We'll get rid of the gigs culture. You what? Anyway, fair enough, lad. Alex Savage, yes. Well, you know, that's what happens when we're an absolute little toe rag, lad. No, I'm not ignoring you. I'm not ignoring anybody in the live chat. There's hundreds of people in here commenting. It's difficult, mate. I'm trying to keep up with it all. It's tough. Anyway, so let's crack on anyway. So, so as I say, Amorim's stats this season are fantastic. What is that? What's that? It's like an Italian thing, like fuck you, basically, like fucking laugh and Napoli. You know, I don't know. David De Gea, Erik Ten Hag. You might have seen this earlier on. Respect. Obviously, after the news dropped. This is classic shithousery from David De Gea. After the news dropped, he just sent out this little cryptic message, whatever that is. You know, that Italian symbol. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, or whatever it is. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. I mean, obviously, David De Gea was kind of wrongfully done by Erik Ten Hag at the end of his time at Manchester United, and is basically just a much better keeper than Andre Onana. And that decision's had knock-on effects for a long time, the decision to let David De Gea go and to go and get Andre Onana. So just David De Gea giving him a little bit of a dig on his way out. You love to see it. Fair play. David De Gea is just an absolute legend of this football club, to be fair. You know, fair play to Ten Hag winning a couple of trophies, but it doesn't compare to David De Gea. David De Gea is a legend, and he was done dirty at the end, really, there by Erik Ten Hag. So just putting in a little dig, I thought that was pretty fun. So Zayn Miyasi, how you doing? Sorry, mate, I've missed a super chat from you, have I? There it is. Okay, he says, good manager, but you have to get rid of players. Yeah, we do have to get rid of players. So, yeah, Amorim, if he comes in, he'll have certain players, I think, on his mind already that he would like to stick with. I personally think he will be utilising the likes of Bruno Fernandes. Ugarte's another one as well. And then, obviously, you've got players like Rashford, who, well, I think we're basically just stuck with. Dalot's a Portuguese compatriot. He's going to have to get rid of certain players and improve certain positions. But as I say, if you look at what his formation is and what sort of system he could play, he could be utilising, you know, the likes of Rashford and Garnacho and these guys for years to come as inside forwards. He could be playing back line three or a back three that consists of De Ligt, Martinez and Yoro going forward long term, and then obviously you've got like players like Mazraoui who are doing real bits in the wide areas and the wing back positions overlapping or whatever, you know, depending on the games and what we need to set up the team like. But he's got a squad capable of doing some good things. It's just about getting this team to perform. Like, if you come in, change the system, and it's a good system, there's no reason why you can't get this exact set of players to play a lot better. That's the hope anyway, you know. It's the middle of the season. We can't sign players anyway. We've just got to hope that the new manager, whoever that may be, is going to come in and change things and actually coach them and do some good fundamentals and change the fortune. So, yeah, that's it. Exactly. Means shut your mouth, basically, doesn't it, Football Brownie? Yeah. That's it. You know, that's one I have to remember for you, Football Brownie, lad. Absolutely. Yeah, but anyway. What about Graham Potter? Nah, not for me, mate. Not for me. He's decent, but you know the only big club experience he's got ended in an absolute debacle. Zane says he could be Villas-Boas or the new Jose. Fair enough. I mean, look, you've talked about some good coaches there. Jose Mourinho, obviously, in a level of his own. He could be. I think if you're going to compare him to anyone, based on what I've read, based on what I've seen, and the little I've seen in terms of the way they play and everything, I'd say it's probably more fair to compare him to the likes of Jurgen Kloppy. Jurgen Floppy, Jalopy, Kloppy. That's who I think is probably more fair to compare him to, rather than say like Jose, who's going to be some sort of defensive fundamental melter. It's more of a Kloppy appointment, which is what I've always wanted, guys. I've always wanted somebody like Klopp. Not Klopp, but somebody like that who might actually get us pressing from the front, who might actually get us attacking with intent and trying to just outscore the opposition. That's what I want to do. But if you actually look at how Amorim's team's playing, as I say, the stats this season, not only do they attack well and score a shitload of goals, which if you look at these stats this season is over, 3 goals a game in average, but they've only conceded a couple. So you get the best of both worlds with Ruben Amorim, it seems. But it's a different league. It's a different kettle of fish. Sporting one of the strongest teams over there. Erik Ten Hag looked great managing Ajax in the Dutch Farmers League, didn't he? So when you're the big fish in a little pond, it is kind of much easier to shine. Whereas when you come over to the Premier League, you are now a little minnow in a big sea of sharks, and it's much more difficult to stay afloat. So we'll see how he does. But if he does come in, yeah, I think it'll be a much better appointment than that Ten Hag melt anyway. Sham, what's good? He says, I said Amorim this afternoon, but I do not think it's a good choice. The time he adapts to the Premier League, the pressure will be here. Fair enough. So good point. You want to probably be thinking about, in an ideal world, getting somebody with the Premier League experience. But if you look at who's actually available with Premier League experience, you're going to have to go to a lesser stature of manager. I suppose there's managers like Eddie Howe who could be tempted away, maybe. But, certainly managers like Unai Emery aren't going anywhere right now. So you're going to have to look at people like Thomas Frank. And it is a step up from Brentford to United. I think he is a good coach and his team plays good attacking football and they go for it. So, that's something that I like and he seems a good coach. But it's a big step up to United. So, okay, Premier League experience is great. But still, what a pressure cooker of a job for whoever it is. Look at the managers we've had in post-Fergie. Moyes with bags and years of Premier League experience under his belt. Melted. Jose Mourinho, massively successful elsewhere. Somewhat successful at United, but ultimately melted. Louis van Gaal, what a career elsewhere, but melted at United, really. We've had a lot of top-name managers who have come in and struggled. So I don't know. I mean, Premier League experience only stands for so much. It definitely helps. I'd prefer it, but it's not the be-all and end-all. Zamiasi, hello, thank you very much for that again. Zamiasi says, why did Ten Hag rush back on plane? I don't know, mate. Maybe he had a wooden clog in the oven. Who knows, who knows? Good luck to him, that's what I say. I don't even know where he is, where he's gone. Is he pissed off back there already, has he? Great. Probably just trying to think about how he can spend that 12 million quid over there. I imagine he's off on a night out there on a bender in the red light district, and he's gonna be a busy boy. That's what I think. How much managerial experience does Amorim have? Mike, I like your question, mate. Well, he's only 39, so it's not like he's going to have bags of experience. He's got a few seasons under his belt, hasn't he? So this is basically his managerial career. So in the 18-19 season, he was managing Casa Pia. After that, Braga B manager for the 1920 season. Following season, also he went to Sporting. Then the following season, 1920 season, he's managed 227 matches for Sporting over that time. And he's managed to get points per match average of 2.27 points per match, which is pretty damn impressive, isn't it? I mean, we were just looking at Erik Ten Hag's record in the Premier League. Much more difficult league, but still completely far away from each other there, those two figures. So he's got a good bit of experience. He's won a few things. He's won the Portuguese League twice. He's won the Portuguese League Cup 3 times. He's won the Portuguese Super Cup once. Has he won anything in Europe? No. But, I mean, they've started quite well this season. The Champions League, winning 2 of their opening games, I believe. And as I say, they've started the the Portuguese League this season just in an unbelievable run. 9 games, 9 wins, whatever it is. It's an unbelievable record so far. So he's definitely doing some serious bits over there in Portugal. The question is, could he translate that over to the Premier League? Ten Hag was doing bits over there in the Netherlands. Look what happened there. Yeah, that's true, Simon. Ruud's got the next 3 games to show his mettle, but based on the fact they're already putting the feelers out there and targeting other managers, I suppose it's quite likely that it is just going to be for a few games. Maybe they won't be able to get a deal done. Maybe they don't want to pay release clauses. Maybe the manager's not going to want to come. And so we stick with Ruud and he gets a fair chance. But I feel like now he'll probably just get a few games. Let's ask the live chat, guys. Will Ruud van Nistelrooy get A, a few games, or B, until the end of the season? Let us know what you think's going to happen. I kind of just think, he'll be overseeing a couple of games here and they'll appoint somebody based on the fact that they're already out there talking to the likes of Amorim as well. Sully Griffin, thanks for your super chat here, my friend. Don't you think this all happening way too fast? I'd let Ruud have at least a few weeks before I offer the job to anyone. Take a look at other coaches. Spot on, Sully. Yeah, I thought that was the whole point of getting Ruud van Nistelrooy in the summer, was in case Erik Ten Hag melts, we've got somebody else in there with that connection to the club who's got some managerial experience who can just step in as an interim and who's happy to do that as an interim until we could appoint somebody permanent who pops up and actually makes sense. And I would say that there's a lot of really good managers out there right now that we could go and get, but there's none that are elite. Maybe in the future they will be, but you can't say Amorim's elite. He's only managed in Portugal. So, you know, in one regard, I see what you're saying, because in an ideal world, I don't know, Carlo Ancelotti would leave Real and we'd go and snap him up and we'd just give it Ruud until that happens. But you can't bank on anything like that happening, or Unai Emery leaving Aston Villa or anything like that. You can't bank on it. So I guess we've just got to kind of like appoint somebody out of who is available right now. But do we though? Couldn't we just give it Ruud for a little while longer? Just see where the landscape lies in a few months after Christmas or at the end of the season? So yeah, fair point there, Solly. Thanks very much for that, lad. I kind of agree. Zamiasi says, Duke, we nearly beat Liverpool. You got stuffed 3-0. Oh, that was a good game the other day, actually. I did watch that as I was editing my post-match video, and that was a good game the other day. Fair enough. Okay, Amorim will be wise to turn down the move. What makes you say that, then? Really, what makes you say that? I mean, it is a pressure cooker of a job. He's doing bits over there. It's safe, it's comfortable. He can easily just win and be victorious over there. But, come on, isn't it a bit boring? Doesn't he need a challenge? The man's just out there absolutely winning everything. It's boring. You know, he's winning every game easily. He's just going to waltz to the league every single year. That's boring, mate. If he's got any bollocks about him, he'll want to go and test himself and challenge himself for one of the biggest clubs in the world to try and bring back our glory days. I mean, let's not forget that this is a tremendous, awesome club, and there is an amazing project there for someone who's got some bollocks. Now, it's not going to be easy because it's a ridiculously terribly tough job. The pressure's massive. The expectations are high. It's an absolute pressure cooker of an environment to manage in. But for somebody who's got the big enough cojones for the job, what a job it is. You could be the next Alex Ferguson, potentially. If you're the guy that over a couple of years builds this United side to being back to a really good team winning things, you know, you've got that potential to go on and do some great things, especially as a young 39-year-old manager. So I'm not saying he's going to go and do that. No, he's going to have to do something ridiculously special to get anywhere near that. But he's got potential, and whoever does get the job, although it's a very difficult job with lots of pressure, what a job it could be if you are successful. So I think he will be prepared to take that opportunity rather than just sit out around there in Portugal and just winning everything easily. It's boring, isn't it? Who wants to win everything all the time? It's boring. Well, I don't know that. I doubt that, Prade. He might be waiting a long time. And what's he going to do? Go and manage them while they're in League Two? I mean, there were reports that he was being lined up and discussed in the summer with Liverpool, wasn't there? And they ended up going for Slot. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think he'll be waiting for City, personally. Zane says, Duke, 50 bet we beat you at the Emirates. Oh, Zane Miassi, stop making bets that your ass can't cash in the live chat, mate. You know, we all know you're a welcher, lad. He's not going to take that bet with you because you're a known welcher. So, yeah, that's true, Paul Warburton. Absolutely. Super chat. I mean, yeah, indeed. We'll have Mendes from PSG, Pig. I mean, no. I mean, you know, we're going. It seems like we've got a short list of. If we have a little look, here's another manager actually that's being linked, by the way. So Thomas Frank was discussing the potential of his interest from Man United. He said, he said this: I have a responsibility to Brentford, the fans, the board, the players and the staff. What will happen in the future? Who knows? But I'm very happy here. He's another manager that has been linked to the job. He's not one of the favourites. It's interesting. Yeah, there you go, Disco Dave. Sir Alex wasn't elite, but look what he did. Ruud could be awesome. Time will tell. I feel you, Disco Dave, but Alex Ferguson, actually, in terms of, you say he wasn't elite at the time, he couldn't have been because he didn't have that much experience, right? He'd only managed at Stirling and then Aberdeen, whatever it was. So, but in Aberdeen, he won the Scottish League and wrestled the Scottish League title away from those Celtic and Rangers belts for the first time in a long time. He also won whatever it was, UEFA Cup or Cup Winners' Cup or some shite with Aberdeen, you know, back in the mid 80s there before coming to Manchester United. So he had done some exceptional things. That's a different scenario in my opinion, because that is he'd done some exceptional things before coming to Man United. It's more in the vein of like Mourinho and Chelsea, where Mourinho was at Porto and he's won the Champions League, and he's done bits and assembled a great team, and then he's gone to Chelsea. It's more like that. Whereas this is a different scenario, but yeah, I think Sir Alex had massive potential proven from winning in a league where he was an underdog, even in Scotland, and also then winning in Europe. Yeah, there you go, Brandon Morton. Definitely, yeah. Kim says, facts, Piggy. Absolutely, yeah. That's a good thing Ferguson was developing young players. Amorim has that too. He likes to develop young players. Yeah, definitely. But in terms of like development, Amorim's already got way more experience under his belt than somebody like Ruud van Nistelrooy, because he's already been doing it for a couple of seasons as a main head coach over in Portugal. So in terms of experience, he does have Ruud van Nistelrooy bested in terms of top experience, Although Ruud has managed for PSV and done okay. Sami Assi says, who played Ten Hag if they make a film? Who directs? Right, okay, this is a good one, guys, for the live chat. Go on then. Who plays Ten Hag if they make a film? To be fair, when it popped up on my Facebook feed earlier on this morning when I first woke up, and it said Erik Ten Hag sacked, and there was a picture of Erik Ten Hag, I thought there was a news headline. I thought they were announcing another series of Breaking Bad. It literally looked like Heisenberg, like, to my bleary eyes. So I'm going to say Bryan Cranston, mate. Yeah, Bryan Cranston playing Ten Hag Heisenberg. Ten Hagstenberg. Do you know what I mean? But that would be good. But other than that, take your pick for any of the baldies, mate, really. You got Jason Statham. You got Yul Brynner, mate. You got I don't know. It depends who's making it as well. What if Disney make it? They'll give it to The Rock. You know what I mean? If Disney make it, it'll be The Rock. If anyway, I'm just saying. So it depends, mate, who you want. I don't care. Telly Savalas, Who Loves You, Baby? That would be good as well. Yeah, absolutely. Vin Diesel, I like your style. Jason Statham, Patrick Stewart, fantastic. Good question. Anyway, by the way, JJS, thank you for the super chat as well there, Pig. Some of these players have to go. How have some of them continued to survive manager after manager? Yeah, well, to answer your question, I think it's because they're absolute turds that won't flush. That's the main reason. And they've got ideas above their station, a lot of them. Plus, they're just onto an absolute winner getting the money that they get at United. They're not going to get that elsewhere. Maguire could have gone last season, couldn't he? Have gone and played for West Ham under Moyes with a good project and a bigger role in the team, maybe even a captaincy or something, or, a big role in the team anyway. Did he want to go? No, because he was happy to play a bit part role at United and collect his paycheck of a couple of £100,000 a week. So, yeah, I've got to say, certainly some of these players need to go, yes, absolutely, but it's because we've just basically signed them up to long-term deals on big money and they're all shite and we can't sell them because nobody wants to buy them and they're on too much money for the sort of level of player that they are. What's up there, Natalie Pert? How's it going there, you legendess? Hi there, will be a few player contracts up next year. Who would you prefer to take over as our manager now? Natalie, nice one, thank you for your question. Who would I prefer to take over as manager right now? Me personally, I still do like Eddie Howe. I like Eddie Howe. He's got Premier League experience. He's not a sexy manager. Well, maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is, actually. I don't know. You answer that question. But no, he's not a sexy manager in the sense that he's a big name or he's a Hollywood manager or he's like a luxury manager. No, he's just sort of like a no-nonsense Englishman, isn't he? Who's got good levels of experience coaching. I think given the reins to a big club like United, he could do well. So I'm not saying he's the best manager out there because he's clearly not. What has he won? He hasn't won anything. But in terms of actually, like, apart from like the championship, with Bournemouth back in the day, but he's not really won anything. So it's not like I'm saying he's a great manager, but I think he has the potential to be that. I think out of all the British managers currently available right now, I think he's the best one. So that's why I would give it him because, yeah, I just think he's good. But he's not that realistic. Obviously, he is Newcastle's manager. We probably couldn't get him, but we did pinch Ashworth off of him. Other than that, Amorim does sound exciting. I like the way that he plays and his teams play. It does seem like that could be something that we could strive towards and change the way we play dramatically from what we're doing right now. Anything that's very different to what we're doing right now, I'm into it. Rajat says, Eddie Howe, average coach. Rajat V, average live chat commenter, mate. You know what I mean? If you want to get like that, man. Maybe average to low live chat commenter, mate. How'd you like that, Rajat? Yeah. Pearls of wisdom you ain't got, my son. How'd you like that? Yeah. That's right. No, it's not nice, is it? It's not nice, is it, mate? No. Eddie Howe's a close personal friend of mine, my friend. No. But you're actually talking out your fucking backside there, Rajat lad, because he is a good coach. He did bits with Bournemouth for a number of years. He took them all away from the bottom of League Two starting on minus 15 points, all the way up to the fucking Premier League, basically. Went to Burnley in between, went back and all that guff. But still, did bits for years with a tiny little provincial town club. They're still reaping the benefits of Eddie Howe's coaching at Bournemouth, them being in the Premier League. Without Eddie Howe, that never happens. Okay? And then obviously he's gone there to doing bits over there at Newcastle. And they've not had the greatest of starts this season, whatever. But no, he's actually a really good coach. His teams have always played good football. He's always had to do it with a team probably that is not really up to the standard either. I mean, not now at Newcastle, but certainly previously, it was basically in the Premier League with Bournemouth with a championship side doing bits, lad. So I don't really get that. I'll tell you what I like about coaches. I like coaches who are actually coaches, who can fundamentally coach, who can manage in-game, who can highlight issues in-game, make the tweaks, make the necessary changes, and actually navigate a game of football and get result. Eddie Howe is that type of manager. That's what I like. He's also somebody that develops players. He's somebody that develops youth. So he's actually got a lot of plus points behind him. You know, he will only prove himself to be a top manager if he's given a top job. I suppose Newcastle is a very good job with the money they got at the back end and everything. But whatever. Hey, De Zerbi's an interesting shout there, Simon. I like your style. Neil says, fair point. Thank you very much there, Neil, lad. Eddie Howe, take Big Ange off us so we can get Bodge back. I don't mind Big Ange. I don't mind him at all. Not at all. Okay, so I'm just going to run down basically what we discussed here in this video here, guys. Then I am going to get into the live chat proper for a big Q&A here. Once again, do us a favour if you're just getting in the stream here. Smash that like button. How many likes are we on? We've got 376 legends in here. We're nearly on 200 likes. Let's have a good old-fashioned Bacon Brigade like spike. Get your likes out for the lads. Hit the thumbs up button. Help us get to 200 likes on this stream there. You know it makes sense. And also subscribe. Look at that. We're only 11 subscribers away from 85,600 subscribers. If you're new in this stream tonight, get down below, click that subscribe button, get in there raw. Also, give us a cheeky little repost on x.com, links pinned to the top of the live chat there. Go and repost us, we'll shout you all out in a few minutes. Yeah, House Ben's very well too. Absolutely, T-Mill. Yeah. It's not like they're going out there in the window and just having free reign to spend shitloads of money, even though they have got a lot of financial backing there. Particularly last season, they barely spent anything, really. So I think you've got to say fair play to the job Eddie Howe's done at the clubs he's had. He probably is ready to step up to a big club like Man United. But anyway, it doesn't look like we're going to go and get him. There's big problems there. It'll be more difficult to acquire him, I think. Amorim seems much more likely, and it also seems like who we're going for. So if you missed it, you know that the news reports coming out thick and fast earlier on that basically we are talking to Ruben Amorim. So Man United working on a deal to appoint Ruben Amorim as head coach. This is via David Ornstein earlier on. We're ready to pay a €10 million release clause. We're in talks with Sporting to finalise the deal. Apparently he's open to accepting the move. So he's got interest in taking the job on. We'll see if it can actually materialise. There's obviously things that it could fall down on, i.e. negotiations between the two clubs for the amount needed to actually pay for the release clause. And then also his desire, I guess, if he wants to leave mid-season, all that sort of stuff. He's had a great start to the season with them, hasn't he? And he's basically guaranteed to win the league over there. Not the ideal time to be leaving mid-season, but the job that is on the table for him at United is a huge one. Obviously, the money would be massive to take the job. It's a life-changing situation for him, even though he's already the manager of a big club over there. Fabrizio says that he's the favourite at the moment to take the job, and the bookmakers have him as the favourite as well. I think with Ruud right up there as next permanent manager. Ruud van Nistelrooy will have a couple of games as interim at the very least, but he could get longer to prove himself. Maybe they'll decide to give Ruud a bit longer, and if he does really well, potentially give him the job. But it's looking likely that they're still looking to appoint a new permanent manager to take over from Ten Hag, rather than just give it Ruud to end of the season. But we'll see. As we said, there is a discussion about how much it would take to actually get this deal done. Talks between the clubs ongoing. Depends on Sporting at the moment. It's going to be quite a lot of money to get that release clause paid, so about 10 million euros, something like that. His stats this season, guys, with Sporting over in Portugal: 9 wins, 0 losses, 30 goals scored, 2 goals conceded. Very impressive stuff. Very impressive stuff. David De Gea throwing out the old enjoy it sign or whatever that is, mate. I don't know. Read between the lines. I don't know what that is. There's some sort of Italian vibe there. You know, basically says F you, mate. Pretty much, you know, to Erik Ten Hag there having a say. Fair play to Davide. Love that. Erik Ten Hag's stats here, guys. Oh, get that gilet away from me. Finally, we don't have to see this gilet-wearing individual ever again. You know what I like about Ruben Amorim as well, folks, is he's not rocking gilets, mate. I've looked online for Ruben Amorim pictures before this stream, trying to get one for the thumbnail, right? And I couldn't find a single one wearing a gilet. Get in there, my son. That's my sort of individual. You know what I mean? And he looks like a stylish bastard as well sometimes, this Amorim, mate. I want a Don in the dugout. I don't want this gilet-wearing melt. So, very happy that that's the case. Thomas Frank quotes there. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, those are basically the updates. I'm going to just go and have a look at the x.com post there, guys, and give everyone a shout out who's reposted us. Thanks everyone who does that. It does help us boost up there and get a few more viewers in. As I say, all the likes on the videos help as well, guys, to increase us on the algorithm or whatever it is, that malarkey. So you know what to do. Aaron Homeyard, thanks for the repost, mate. Kieran, let's go, you beast. Chris Bamo, the GOAT Richard Wisterpeg, Paul Nangle, Paul Warburton, and Larry Hasser. Thank you so much, you legends, for reposting the stream out there on x.com. Absolute heroes. Right, let's get stuck in there then, guys, into the live chat. Let's have a good Q&A for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or something. Get in there and have your say. I'm going to read as many comments out as I can. So 10 million to bring in plus whatever it costs to lose Erik Ten Hag. Yeah, it's an undertaking. 22 million quid, somewhere around that sort of figure, in order to get Ten Hag gone and actually get this new manager in. And that's actually just the release clause paid to Sporting as well. That's not including something like a signing on bonus or agents' fees. So it's going to cost more than that even. Justice for David De Gea. Oh, I miss David too as well. Maybe we could get him back. I mean, I doubt it. He's got a contract over at Fiorentina now, and he's obviously doing well. He had a year out. You know, I don't know. How long's that contract at Fiorentina? It's not going to happen, is it? But in an ideal world, we'd have never let him go, and we'd have never bought Onana. Oh, thank you, Joel. MCFC says big old super chat on payday. Thank you very much, Joel. You don't have to do that, my son. But thanks for getting in here. Let me on the touchline. I'll do a job. Yeah, does Paul Ince get a look in? Oh, I don't think so. I mean, what's Paul Ince up to these days? I remember he was managing Blackpool, wasn't he? In the Championship, I remember. Oh, no, or was it just his son, Tom Ince, playing for them? I don't know, I think my brain's melting. But what's he up to, mate? What's Paul Ince up to these days, guys? Fucking legendary quality player. But the last time I heard about him, oh, it was Reading. Okay, I think it was his son who played for Blackpool. Is that right? Tom Ince. You remember Tom Ince? Whatever happened to Tom Ince as well? What happened to the Ince family, guys? Do you know what I mean? Where are these guys? That's what I want to know. Okay, it was. Yeah, my bad. It was his son. Anyway, okay. Yeah, he was, but he was a cracking player for us as well. What a player. Pig stacking, yeah, I've melted there. You hope Onana will follow Ten Hag out the club? It's on the cards, I guess. If the next manager doesn't really want to go with that type of goalkeeper, then maybe they will. But it's the last position you're going to really do anything about, I think, because we just spent big money there. And Onana's actually not had a bad season so far. Would you take Harry Redknapp? Oh, terrific. Yeah, you get Nico Crankiar in the team. Nico Crankiar, mate. Crouchy and Defoe up top. No, definitely not, mate. I love Harry Redknapp. What a dude. But no. Hello there, Oki. What's going on? Let him enjoy his retirement, mate. He's old. It's like, would I have Sir Alex Ferguson back? I mean, yeah, he's one of the greatest managers ever. But he's too old now, mate. Let him enjoy his retirement. Ten Hag is out, Oki. Yes, indeed. Where have you been? Yes, he is. Would you take Ray Winston? Yeah, you're right, JJ. Onana's done all right this season, mate. He's not done badly at all. Last season, at this point of the season, he was having a stinker. He made a lot of errors, but he's only made a couple of errors so far this season. A couple of errors, but nothing too crazy. I think he's doing all right. Fair play to him. Yeah, that's right, Matt the Cat. Well, we didn't get him from Ajax. We got him from Inter, didn't we? But he previously had played at Ajax. So essentially, yeah. Might need Sam Allardyce, Ian Holloway. To be fair to Erik Ten Hag, he made teams like Nottingham and Palace look world class. Yeah, that is quite an achievement. Ten Hag got served lunches in time. Onana has been better. Yes, he has. If he wants to get rid of Martinez and De Ligt, your thoughts? I think whoever that is, if they're coming in and getting rid of De Ligt and Martinez, I think they'd be pretty foolish. Those are actually some decent players. Yeah. I mean, you can always add to the ranks. I've always said you can improve the squad by improving the starting 11 and then keeping the player that's been replacing the starting 11 and getting rid of somebody else down the pecking order. So improve the squad depth, get the quality in there. But I think, especially if we're going to be playing a 3 at the back system, then we'd have to look at keeping players like Martinez and De Ligt around. Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Jonathan. Next manager has to be attacking. That's why I think Amorim does look quite interesting, because his teams just seem to dominate and attack and win well with lots of goals and conceding few goals. So that is very much what we're looking to try and do. Difficult to do in the Premier League, but still. Carrick's a good option there, Russell Brand. I like Carrick. Yeah, I like him a lot. But it seems like he's not really that high up the list at the minute. Defoe spotted at Real Madrid training camp. Give it Smithy to end of the season. Erik Ten Hag is back in Amsterdam. Is he actually back there already then, Niels? So, he didn't sell his house out there, guys. You know it was a short-term thing for Erik. He's just straight in there, feet up on the sofa next to the fireplace, whatever, mate, with 12 million in the bank, chilling. Like he's just done some covert SAS undercover mission. Gone in, and he's basically done a fantastic job of parting Manchester United with hundreds of millions of pounds and sorting out his old favourite club Ajax. And now he's back over there probably to take the reins of his favourite club Ajax again in a year's time or at the end of the season or whatever. I mean, it's piss poor, isn't it, actually? It's piss poor. Yeah, there you go, Russell. Yeah, fair enough. But, ultimately it does depend on the rest of the team as well, how we're playing from the back forwards, mate. It's the rest of the team as well. Hello there, Wanda. I did get my wish. Come on. We'll just see who the next manager is and if they do well, because obviously there's going to be pressure on them. They've got to do reasonably well. Well, they don't have to do miracles overnight, but there's got to be a progress taking place. Yeah, left on a private plane this afternoon. Sold his house in Manchester. Bloody hell. Oh, I bet they are, Mark Ashton. Pig, think you are the only one that figured out it was us rival fans voting to keep Erik Ten Hag in? Yeah, precisely. It was. Didn't take a genius to work that one out, though. Wearing his gilets. Oh, man's in a private jet rocking a gilet. Oh, Brian Clough and Peter Taylor. Yeah, definitely. There's another great manager we talked about. Like, we were talking about managers who have that ability to just, show quality early doors and win things, even if they're the underdogs. Like Jose Mourinho, those type of managers. Alex Ferguson at Aberdeen, those types of guys. Brian Clough obviously be another one. Definitely where he was just able to go into different teams, Derby, Forest, whatever, and just get them to be really, really good in a short space of time. So, yeah. My one, not yours. Thanks for the super chat there. He comments, sacking Ten Hag is a short-term fix to a long-term problem. Man United fans will have nobody to blame but the players if they keep losing like they have. That's fair. I mean, we are blaming the players as well. It's not like you can just put it 100% on Erik Ten Hag. Some of these players have been shite. They need to step up and they've been melters. But I also do think a lot of them has been hurt by the confidence within the manager, the confidence in their squad, the tactics, the style. All of that sort of stuff has hurt them. You've got to build these players back up now. Some of them are really good. Look, we've bought loads of new players. We've got rid of a few of the gash players. There's still a few of the gash players around, the Maguires of this world, whatever. We still have to move a few on, Lindelof, but in my opinion, we have slowly chipped away at the fat that's in the team, but there's still a filthy bit of gristle left. That's true, which we need to get rid of. You're absolutely right. But we can't keep saying that. We can't keep buying players and then the next year saying they're shit and they've got to go. We've got to do with what we've got. We've got to work with what we've got. And that's what the new manager's going to have to do. They're not going to get loads of money to spend in January. They might be able to bring one player in or something like that, or do a little bit of business. But with the amount it's spending to actually get this managerial position sorted out and to pay off Ten Hag and all the money we spent under Ten Hag on players, I can't imagine there's a lot of money left for us to shape the squad until next summer. So the manager's going to have to do with what he's got. And I think most of the players will probably be happy with a change in emphasis or a change in tactics and what we're trying to do. But yeah, you're right. If it's not going to work out, if it just continues as is or we don't get the results, yeah, I mean, you're just going to have to blame, well, everyone at the football club. But I think if you look at the last year, the majority of the blame has to fall on the manager, because the owners, although they've been shite in the past, they've backed him, and he got his players in, and he just did a shite job. So I think you have to say that the reason why we failed mainly over the last few months certainly is the manager and the way he set them up and everything. The players definitely are secondary to that, but they can't be blamed. Some of them can't even be blamed because they've only just come in. Thank you, Andrew Gonsalves. He says, like the video. Thank you for that, my friend. Daniel Jolly buzzing for this appointment. Bring on Leicester and Chelsea. Nice. But he probably won't be in charge for those games. I'd imagine the earliest we could probably see him would actually be that PAOK game in the Europa League on the 7th of November. So before that, we've got Chelsea and Leicester, right? I'm pretty sure Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to be in charge of those. That's what I think. And then maybe that Europa League game on the 7th of November, we could see Ruben Amorim in the dugout, possibly, if that deal can even be agreed and done. It's in the talks at the moment, but it's obviously not done and dusted or anything at the moment. Oh, really, Sham? Interesting breakthrough in Amorim transfer. Manchester Evening News. That's quite interesting, mate. Yeah. Luckhurst, MEM reporting how Amorim has agreed. Oh, nice one, guys. Let's go and take a look at this then. Big up yourselves. Thanks for that, lad. So Luckhurst is reporting that, is he? Do you mean Samuel Lyhurst? No, I'm joking. Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, MEN is it? Let's go have a look. The MEN. I mean, the MEN's kind of, that's what I think about the MEN. It's kind of, but we'll go and find it. Oh, whatever, I can't find it. But yes, fair enough, reporting that it's agreed. That's pretty cool, mate. That's pretty cool. I mean, if it was David Ornstein or if it was Fabrizio Romano, I'd be like, yes, that's done. But now you said Luckhurst, I'm going to I'll wait and see what else comes out first. You know what I mean? But that's positive, mate. I hope he has agreed, because I think, as I say, it's a different style, different emphasis, different manager to Erik Ten Hag, which is what we need. And he's coming on the back of really successful, attacking good football, scoring lots of goals, conceding few. Yeah, you said it. Bye-bye, Baldy. Absolutely. Yep, interesting. Fair enough. Simon heard 10 million agreed initially. Yeah, that's what they were saying earlier on with the amount. Almiron is yet another bad appointment. I don't know, Russell. Give him a chance, I don't know. There's nobody really perfect for the job, is there? It's the same as it was a year ago. That's why we gave Ten Hag a little bit more time, because there wasn't the clear choice to come in. You just hope next guy's good. Need to stop smashing shit, Piggo. Yeah, definitely true. Yeah, Michael Rosside says, it's the club and the players who have dragged United down. You're blaming the managers, all of them? No, I mean, you have to blame, especially before, Ineos have come in. You've got to blame the ownership of the football club from the Glazers down for their piss-poor management of things, and having just a bunch of Glazer wanky-banky yes-men in charge in the hierarchy, etc., making footballing decisions. You've got to blame the majority on that for years. And then you've got to blame, a lot of shite players that were brought into the club, people like Pogba and stuff, and Alexis Sanchez, and loads of bad decisions we made bringing in big players who just weren't up to it. So obviously some of the players over the years are to blame. Certainly some of these managers are to blame as well. Louis van Gaal had us playing absolutely crabtastic gash football. I think Jose did well, actually, to be fair, with what he had at his disposal. He says himself that second place finish one of his best achievements. So I think we could have maybe done more with him, but he sort of fell out of favour with the Glazers shithouses. They sacked him off after he didn't get what he wanted that summer going into his final season. So it's obviously there's different factors as to why Man United have been so unsuccessful for 10 years. You can't just blame the managers, even though all of them have fundamentally ended in a poor situation. At times, for most of those managers as well, there was some peaks. There were some peaks and troughs throughout, of course, even with Erik Ten Hag. There was League Cup wins, FA Cup wins. With Ollie, we got to Europa League final. We finished second, didn't we? We had some good peaks. Jose won the Mickey Mouse treble in the Europa League and stuff. So we had some peaks, but ultimately the consistency is an issue there. I personally think it's not just any one part of the club that you can just pinpoint, but you have to say that Ten Hag, in terms of the last year especially, has been absolutely shite in terms of his management of the club. So yeah, there you go, Paul Warburton. Can the players change? Certainly they can. Some of them can, absolutely. We know there's good players lurking in there. Rashford's capable of a 30-goal season. Bruno Fernandes is capable of being one of the best creative players in the league. These guys have that potential. They've done it in the past. So, yeah, board fraud back in the dam. Good riddance. Yes, good shout, Razak. Ten Hag's tactics just didn't work out. No wonder we keep blowing leads and throwing away points. Absolutely good shout there, my son. G Wolf United, what's going on, you legend? Back home, thoughts on Amorim coming to United? Yeah, well, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it if it happens, because I think he's going to change the way we play, and he's got like potential to be a very good coach. He's young and he's hungry and he's doing a good job at the moment. It's difficult to say that he's going to just guarantee success for Man United in the Premier League. It's a totally different league. It's so hard. Sporting and the Portuguese league, it's easy in comparison. So it is going to be difficult, but actually the fundamentals that he's bringing to the table, maybe a change in style, maybe playing a 3-4-3, maybe playing, pressing, attacking football, but also fundamentally defensively tight and sound, is what I'm looking for from our side, to be fair. So yeah, it could be good, mate. Only time will tell. He still couldn't, maybe it doesn't even happen, but at the moment it's looking like he is the favourite to take over. Who do I want to see go first? I think we've got to make the symbolic departures of people like Lindelof and Maguire and those guys, yeah. Not that Maguire's not a decent squad player, but I just think we've got to make that symbolic change. These guys are of the past and we've got to get rid type thing. Pigster, what's the prediction for Leicester and Chelsea games? Oh, I think we beat Leicester. Yeah, I'm going to go a nice comfortable 2-0 victory against Leicester, and I'm going to say that we managed to snatch a draw in the Chelsea game, and I'm going to be optimistic there. Kind of like when Carrick was the interim and we played Chelsea. I think it was at Stamford Bridge and we got a draw there, I believe. Something like that. Oh, that's another one, Gungshi. Oh my God, Anthony Dos Santos. So yeah, now Erik Ten Hag's gone. What actually happens with Anthony? Is he even going to get played at all? He's such a one-dimensional gash player. I mean, yeah, he's got some qualities, but most of them are gash. It's going to be difficult to get rid of him though, because he's on huge money for the player that he is. I dread to think the amount of money Anthony Dos Santos gets paid per week to be that gash for Man United. I dread to think. And then trying to sell him is going to be a big issue. So yeah, I think we'll just see Anthony Dos Santos leave on a free transfer at the end of his contract. Probably go and rejoin Ajax and cuddle up to Erik Ten Hag on a free. Because he's another one of those players that we've just priced out of the market with his initial transfer fee and then the wages he's paid. Good luck trying to sell Anthony to anybody. Maguire is one of those players whose presence in the squad guarantees failure worse than Fellaini. Okay, a bit harsh, but I sort of see what you're saying. It's a symbolic thing, isn't it? Maguire is just that classic sort of, meme player. I couldn't answer that question, Gattuso lad. Maguire, Shaw, Lindelof, Mount and Anthony on the chopping list. Oh, definitely Mount, definitely Anthony. I mean, I would get rid of Andre Onana and try and get a better keeper as well, but it's not the most important thing because I think he's done all right recently. Rashford, not a 350 grand. You're right about that, Russell. He's actually a 350k a week player, which is even more sickening, isn't it? But you're right. I mean, he's a 150 grand a week player if ever I've seen one. G-Wall says, I just don't want our players to throw another manager underneath the bus, and also Amorim played with IKEA flat pack and was his best player at Benfica. Interesting there, G-Wolf lad. What do you mean? Fair enough, though. Yeah, that's quite interesting, mate. Oh, you mean in terms of when he was a player, right? Maguire is so bad I don't understand why anyone ever gives him leeway. Anthony on 200k a week. That's crazy, isn't it, Brownie? Rashford and Shaw. We need Victor Osimhen. Good player, good player. It would have been nice if we'd have gone and got somebody like that, or at least a Tony, or ideally like a Kane when that happened, like a proper proven Premier League goalscorer, rather than sort of getting a couple of players for the future, which is what we do. You'd keep Rashford? Oh, Rashford. He's like, I know he can do it. That's the thing. I know he's got the ability to put in good, consistent performances and do it, but he just doesn't. I'm really losing it with Rashi. I am. He's not been there mentally. I'm losing it with him. I really am. But I really want him to do what I really want him to turn it around. I really do want him to turn it around, guys. Because I like everything he stands for, the whole Manc born and bred thing. He seems like a nice guy off the pitch, but on the pitch, he's been lazy. On the pitch, he's let his head drop. On the pitch, he's been a melter for too long now. We can't have any passengers, any lazy melts in the team anymore. So if he's not brilliant under the new manager for the first couple of months under the new manager, then yeah, I mean, I probably would look to get rid of him at some point because he's worth a lot and he's not actually getting paid, or he's not justifying what he's getting paid, which means that we should probably look to cash in if we can. And he is saleable. There is some big teams out there that would want Rashford. I'm sure PSG would be interested in Rashford if he was on the table for 60 mil, for instance. I'm sure they would be. So yeah, we could probably sell Rashford. Yeah, that's true. He's helped 4 managers get sacked. Rashford lazy. Rashford has to go. Yeah, the cheek to be paid that much. I know if you're paid that much, you've got to be one of the best players in the league, don't you? 350k a week, that's like Mo Salah levels of money. I'm pretty sure Mo Salah is Liverpool's highest paid player, and he gets about 350k a week, I think, which basically is the same as what Rashford's getting, yet Mo Salah is just actually one of the best players in the world and one of the best players in the league consistently over years. That's the difference. So if you get that sort of money, you have to justify it by putting in top-level performances on the regular, which he doesn't. Imagine Bonmati naked next to the door in the sack. Steady on now, Daz. Hi there, Stuart Spicy Waller. What's going on? Yes, mate. Rather Bobby Zamora than Rashford. Let's see more goals from Højlund, Rashi and Xerxes, not forgetting Bruno. I'm a bit concerned about Xerxes. Let's hope that the new manager can actually get him working okay in a system, but we haven't seen him look good at all so far. Sham says, my team is Onana, Amash, Yoro. Yeah, interesting. Amash needs some opportunities. I'm actually surprised we didn't see him get opportunities this season based on the pre-season and stuff. Fact, says T-Mill. Give Rashford to Tottenham. Wouldn't be surprised if they get the best out of him. Yeah, it's probably about the right level club for them. Just an absolute set of perennial melters. Wages should be performance related. Absolutely. He's another one. Try and sell him. Good luck. You could probably do a garage sale tomorrow. We don't really have them in the UK, you know. Do we? we don't even pronounce it garage, guys. We call it a garage. Well, I've never heard somebody say, hey, I'm having a garage sale tomorrow. In the UK, that just doesn't happen, does it? That's such an American thing. But I'm just saying, you could put him out. You could go to the car boot. You could take the old wallpaper table with you, pop him on there with a price tag of £25, and everyone's going to walk on by. No, nobody wants Mason Mount, even if he's free. The guy's absolutely awful. Yeah, that's it, a yard sale. Yeah, but we don't call them that, mate. What do we call them? We don't even have them. Listen, if you started selling stuff on the floor outside your gaff, you'd probably get a knock on the door by the fucking council in half an hour. Mrs. Jones from down the road twitching the curtains fucking dobbed you in onto the local council, mate. Serious. Anyway. Get Mount on car booty or bargain hunters. Oh, man. Absolutely. That team is well known for tour, it has to be said. Would you want a women's manager? Let's see. I'm just about getting somebody who's right for the job. There is some really good women's managers, but are there any that really are ready to take over the reins at a club like Manchester United managing the men's side? I would argue no. Not to say that at some point there couldn't be. Antiques Rojo car boot sale, jumble sale. Yeah, jumble sale. That's it, isn't it? They call it a jumble sale, I guess, audio. Yeah, I'm still live, Ciro. I've only been alive an hour and 2 minutes. Do you know what, Ciro? Ciro says, mate, you're still live. Get some rest. You know what, Ciro, right? So, shall I tell you what I've done today, mate? I got up. I got on. Made a video about Erik Ten Hag being sacked. Had a live stream for about an hour or so. Then I got off that. And then I ate some food. Then I hung out with Mrs. P a bit. And then I went to sleep for a few hours. And then I got up. And then I had some more food. And I drank some drinks. And then I come on here and I've done this stream, mate. And it's just been an hour and 2 minutes. I'm fine, mate. You know what I mean? Like some people out there have been doing a 12-hour shift in hospital, mate. Worry about them. I'm taking the piss here, aren't I? I'm doing fuck all, mate. I only work for 2 hours today, bro. Work smart, not hard, my friends. You know what I mean? Anyway. I would love that Gattuso. Woo! If only. Some may be good motivators. You're gutted he's gone. All the rivals are. Mount wouldn't sell for a fiver in a curly whirly. Oh, me too, Simon. I was like, yes, mate, come on. Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, Oli and now Erik Ten Hag. Is the club the problem, not the manager? Yes, it is. It is. Fundamentally, it is. The reasons why we're such a failure is the ownership management of the club for years. So, yeah. Whoever the next manager is, we need a good recruitment team around them. Spot on, Brandon. Absolutely, lad. You just described my day. That's awesome, Disco Dave. That's what you want. You broke roads with a jackhammer for 8 hours. You can handle it. That's what I'm saying, Flip. You know? That's what I'm saying. It's not that hard, is it? Breaking news today. Eat, poop, sleep, repeat. You skimmed 4 ceilings. Respect, chappy. Yeah, dude, how's your back? In Portugal media, they're already saying the deal is done. Yes, reports from the likes of MEN, Samuel Luckhurst, and some outlets reporting that is the case, and it's agreed tonight as well, apparently. Anyway, now we're waiting to see if there's anything from Ornstein again here, or maybe Fab. I'll just go have a quick look at like Fab's feed here, see if he's posted anything in the last few minutes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's looking good, but you know, Nope, nothing posted from Fab. So yeah, nothing super official, but it does look like it's essentially could have been agreed. Yeah, Tommy Ball, what's going on there, my son? He says we wish we'd go for Edin Terzic. Was so good at Dortmund and spent 2 years as assistant to Bilic at West Ham, so knows the league too. Such a good young manager and available. Yeah, he's not even in the conversation, is he? But actually, in terms of like style and what he's achieved in building teams and developing players and stuff, he's got a great track record. So that's a good shout, Tommy. As I say, I don't watch a lot of German football, but just for what he's done and his known style and everything, could actually be quite a good one. But he doesn't seem to be in the frame for some reason, does he? Yeah, you too, Sham. Have a good one, you legend. Stay classy, lad. Owners and debt. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's have a look at Florian Plettenberg then. Let's see what he's doing. Thanks for the tip there, lad. We'll go see what he's saying here and get that up on screen if we can. Bit of Florian Plettenberg action, lad. Okay, so this is what he posted just a little while ago, an hour ago, said that he understands the most important contract details between Ruben Amorim and Manchester United have already been agreed upon. Only a few details remain. A complete agreement is therefore not an obstacle. Negotiations between the clubs now underway. Important, Amorim would move to Man United immediately, but he's not putting any internal pressure on Sporting out of respect. We will only make the move if all sides find a reasonable solution. Sporting especially need to find a suitable successor. Erik Ten Hag's available. Get on the blower to old Dr. Eggman, mate. Come on, Dutch Kojak back for a fucking part 2. You know? Go on. Do it. Erik Ten Hag's available, Sporting, if you need to find a suitable successor. Oh, my God. Ten Hag to Sporting. Get in there, my son. Hey, thank you, James, very much indeed there, James, for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you, mate. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. It's free. Smash the sub up. Also, drop a like on the video if you haven't. I'm going to read a couple more comments out, then we're going to have to wrap it up. Yes, Minoda. I can't remember what that badge is. Is it 6 months or 3 months or a year or something? I don't know. But big up there, Minoda, still being a member and getting a new badge. Ten Hag would get eaten in Portugal. Any chance of putting a pic of Ten Hag on your dartboard? That would be harsh, mate. He's gone now, you know. Ten Hag relegates Sporting. United need an old-fashioned blagger, someone that can play the sycophantic media. I like your style, lad. How about Maguire as player-manager, shite player, great manager? Maybe Jojo. I could see him actually going on to be quite a good manager one day, yeah. Good evening, Lee Heesman. Fair play to you, Matt the Cat. Yeah, wouldn't wish that ball to Sporting. The guitar's dented, mate, real bad. The gilet will be a hit in Portugal. Well, that's it. It might be too hot for gilets over there, mate. That's the only thing. He wouldn't take the job just based on the fact it's too hot for gilets. I know, strange, isn't it, Tommy? Terzic not even being mentioned. I don't get it. Being a good manager in Portugal League isn't a lot different to Dutch League. That's so true. You're absolutely right, Tommy. You're absolutely right. So he has got a very good record in Portugal, but it's the Portuguese League. It's not the Premier League, and the German League is a step up. So, yeah, you know, you're right, really. It's a strange one. Ten Hag more proven. Maguire's manager. Do you think Ruud will change much in the lineup against Chelsea? Yeah, if I was him, I'd change quite a lot. I'd put a couple of youngsters in there. I'd definitely rotate it, you know, start all the new players that we signed, and, you know, I'd definitely change some things. Trust Ten Hag to finally get sacked when my Chelsea got United this weekend. Oh, mate, maybe we'll have a little manager bounce and do ya. Ten Hag's grumbling this thing again because he's all about the Ajax. None of us suggested the Glazers siphoned nearly $2 billion out the club and into their pockets over the past 18 years. So true, Gregory. No, that's what it fundamentally comes down to. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. When I miss Ten Hag's outfits, I won't. Anyway, guys, I've got to wrap this up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, no, not tonight, Tommy. I'm actually just going to have a little date night with Mrs. P. It's one of the only nights we've got to do that. So I'm just going to go watch Alien Romulus with Mrs. P. Yeah. And then she's off to work the rest of the nights this week. So, well, pretty much. Nice one, Gattuso, Russell, Simon Hood, OG, must play Simon, Disco Dave, you legend. Exactly. Simon, Ryo, Razak, Flip, Russell, Mark Ashton. Everyone who's tuned in. Thanks to all the moderators, legends like Gungshi. Thanks to all the members in green, people like Minoda and OG and Disco Dave and Dave Watkins and everyone. Thanks for being members and supporting the show. Lots of awesome news today, guys. Amorim is being lined up as the next manager. Of course, we'll be on tomorrow throughout the day to discuss the latest news and updates as soon as there is anything big to discuss, like if there's any real proper announcements from anyone about a new manager, etc. We'll, of course, cover the latest news. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the bell icon for notifications and set it to all so you don't miss any of the stuff. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Links are in the description. and stay classy. Also, you can check out the merch shop on eBay by putting !merch in the chat. It should pop up with a link, maybe. If not, then, well, you screwed. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Legends, Russell, Mark, Tommy, Minoda, Simon, OG, Dave, Daz, Gungshi, Johnny M, Razerk. Let's go, all you legends. Tommy Boyle, Scott Problems, Gattuso, Razak, Must Play, OG, Simon, Neil, Leper Messiah, Matt the Cat, Gregory, Vexico, Neil, Simon, and everybody in the chat. Disco J, OG, all the legends. Come back after, have your say on Amorim, Ten Hag and everything, the United situation. Come back after, have your say in the not live comment section. The debate doesn't have to stop there. Good night, you legends. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Mick. Pleased to hear your t-shirt arrived today, by the way, there, Mick Lad. Hope it fits, mate. Gattuso, Coolin, OG, Larry, and everybody else as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Piggy loves you. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler. Cheers, Matt the Cat Lad. Nice one, United TV. Let's go. Leper Messiah, Neil, Mark, and everyone. When the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. I know, I know, Tommy, mate. I know. Gungshi said that his missus bought him a gilet. That's grounds for a divorce right there, mate. I mean, he's not even married to her. If I was him, I'd get in contact with the lawyers and get a divorce done. He's not even got marriage. That's how bad it is, mate. No, I'm joking. Look, to be fair, each to their own. Rock that gilet, Gungshi. I want to see you wearing that gilet, Gungshi. Send us a pic of you wearing that gilet, Gungshi. Okay? In fact, Gungshi, if you send me a picture of you wearing a gilet, and allow me to show it on this stream one day, I will send you a free t-shirt, Gungshi, for being a legend. Right. Good night. God bless you. You deserve one anyway. Let me know your address. Genuinely. Right, guys. Thank you, because I've forgotten it, mate. I don't have the details anymore. You might have moved. Big ups, guys. Good night. I've got to go. What am I doing? I'm still chatting here, guys. Still saying words. God bless you. Piggy loves you. When the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.